I have a lot going on in the background, so I'm gonna go ahead and mute the sound and let this be a talk through. So I'm going to church today. It's the one day I apply makeup, and I always do a simple face. I always use Becca primer. So this primer, it's the one thing besides Milk of Magnesia that works for me. And with all the talk about Milk of Magnesia, it's what had me hunting for a different type of primer. This stuff is great. It's no Milk of Magnesia, but it does keep you from looking like an oil slick for most of the day. This primer, if you don't use it right, will turn into little white flaky balls. So what you should do is what I'm doing right now, which is patting it into my face. If you know how to work the primer, you can rub it on your face like I was doing before. And as long as you know when to stop, it will not ball up. I like pressing it into my face because it keeps it, I feel like it's like going into my pores and like really sinking into my skin. This is Fit Me Maybelline loose powder, and I'm going to use it to set my primer. I'm using it with a dry beauty blender. I was in a rush today, so I didn't have no time to wash my blender so it could be wet. But yeah, I'm putting on just a wee bit of loose powder, hoping that it'll help increase the longevity of my makeup. And honestly, it really did. As good as the primer is, for some reason my face doesn't like the Makeup Forever foundation like that much, so I do end up like quite oily, and this really did tamp it down a bit. I had a healthy glow after church as opposed to being an oil slick, and I attribute that to the Becca primer and setting it with that loose powder. And you're seeing me, I guess it's my left, your right, looking through my black makeup bag, and I find my Makeup Forever foundation. This color is a little too dark for me and a little too red for me, but once I blend it out and add like light concealer, it works just fine. And you know what? It's all I had. Ran out of all my drugstore foundation, ran out of my Fenty, so this was the backup. Yeah, I probably won't buy Makeup Forever again, just because the formula just isn't really long lasting on my skin. I've taken, a lot of effort to really balance my skin out. I went from being like a person who is very oily to having combination skin closer to normal skin. So yeah, it surprises me when a foundation doesn't work for me. But yeah, as I told you, my beauty blender is dry, so it's not really blending the makeup how I would like. So it's taking quite a bit of effort to get the makeup blended out over my face. And I wanted to use a beauty blender because it was much cleaner than any of my other foundation brushes. This is about 2 pumps of Makeup Forever that I put all over my face, and you're gonna see me reach for more because it just didn't stretch far enough. I have quite a few marks on my face, and I wanted to get them, and I definitely wanted to get my neck, considering that this foundation doesn't match me perfectly. First of all, any foundation, I do my neck because I have a lot of marks on my neck. But definitely when you have a color that doesn't, match you perfectly, you want to do your neck. You're going to see me... Oh, my arm was tired. Girl, I had to switch hands. Listen, I'm not ambidextrous. I'm a lefty, but for when it comes to makeup, I become ambidextrous, girl. So I'm still spreading foundation, and I'm going to reach for the bottle again because I noticed 2 blemishes on my face that I really want to cover. But already it's starting to look really good. I'm starting to look more put together as far as like a full face. Man, it's crazy how makeup just like transforms you, makes you look like you going somewhere, like you somebody. Ugh, I love it. So that was me reaching for another pat of foundation. I was trying to cover up a little mark on my chin and on my neck. And then you'll see me like literally apply the bottle to my face because there was just, that was like a really bad zit from like a couple of weeks ago. Like the skin broke. It was horrible. So that mark is going to be on my face for quite a while. All right, now we're applying concealer. This is ColourPop concealer, and man, this ColourPop concealer do right by me. I gotta tell you, it does crease really close to my eye, but it's not enough creasing to make me like stop using it. You'll see that I'm really not highlighting my forehead because my forehead really does get too oily, and that's not something that I want to highlight. Typically, I would start blending out where I started applying the makeup, but I decided that I wanted the under eyes to pop a little more, so I let the concealer dry down a little bit. And I've been trying to like apply this concealer without making funny faces. So you know how we all are. We mostly like, bend our lips and, make that weird face. I'm trying not to do that. So I experimented with just looking up, and you see I'm trying and failing quite a bit of the time, but regardless, I'm able to blend out this concealer. Now my light is pretty bright, so this concealer is like, it's being a Judas right now. I don't like that. But here I am looking up again and then fixing my mouth normal, just trying not to stretch out my face while I apply this concealer and blend it out. Here I am going back over it, applying it to my eyes a little bit, what's left on the sponge, and just trying to blend out the edges so it doesn't look like really harsh and jagged. Yeah, I did the same thing with my forehead. Whatever was left over on my sponge, I just kind of tapped up there. You're starting to look like somebody. So now I'm applying powder. I dipped into my loose powder again and going into all these places where I put my light concealer, just trying to seal everything in. I really don't bake. Baking makes me look really cakey, so I try to just press all of the powder in. And you'll see me later go through with regular pressed powder and a powder brush, and it really helps to get off any excess while still depositing, color and matteness. Now I'm going in with my Iman pressed powder. It's luxury pressed powder. I believe it's in dark. And I'm going to use this to contour. Contour is my favorite part. I feel it's what, makes my face look like really done and makes my face go from round to oval. Oof. I love me some contour, baby. Why am I making faces? I don't understand. Why? The faces we make doing makeup. I think my arm hurts or something. Now I'm going under the chin, attempting to oval out this face a little bit. So I was using a small mirror the whole time, switching to my big mirror, trying to get that full face look. What's up with this face? Okay, we're gonna speed it up now. Here I am going with my pressed powder, going over everything, really trying to make everything blend so I don't look cray-cray in the normal light. And I just turn my light down to simulate more of like what it is in real life, not that bright studio light. And now I'm going in with a brown eyeshadow and I am filling in my eyebrows. I always do the bottom brow. I fill out that outline and then I do strokes going up, just following the hairline. Like the way the hair is going, that's the way that I go. So yeah, man, foundation, contour, blush, brows. Child, you ready to go somewhere? You ready to be somebody? You know, wait till I put on these lashes. I'm gonna look like somebody, child. All right. I was just gonna put on lashes and then I decided I was going to do a little bit of shadow. At first I was just gonna do, this is Makeup Geek Cocoa Bear, which is discontinued. And then I just felt a little inspiration, found myself another makeup brush, and I used my highlight color to pop a little something on my lids. So it's golden brown. Literally takes like 3 minutes. It is a go-to look. And then I'm gonna put on lashes. So one thing I do when I get a new bottle of lash glue is I kind of let it sit out for a while and it gets all tacky in the bottle. So when I apply it to the lash, I don't have to wait for it to dry on the lash. I don't know if there's something that anybody rails against, but you know what? It works for me. I don't have to sit there waiting for my lashes to dry. The only drawback is that you really don't have time to like reposition the lash, so you got to get it right the first time. So I do not recommend this to somebody who's just starting out with lashes. On this eye that I do, I really could have, I would have liked to reposition it to put it closer to my lash line, but that lash was like, the lash glue was like, nah, no thank you. Anyways, look at how these lashes make your whole look just pop. I am somebody, child. Look at this. Ooh, child. I already had some chapstick on my lips, so you're not going to see me apply anything, and I did not apply anything else. I figured since my eyes were so bold that my lips could just, you know, remain neutral. A little black liner. This is the Kajal Intense Liner from Estée Lauder. Putting a little shimmery white into my tear duct. Hey, yes, I was having fun today. I was talking to the cat there. All finished.